Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. There are three aspects. One is the religion, secondly the philosophy, and the third is the spiritual life. Religion deals with the do's and don'ts so that we are not a burden to ourselves and to others. That is the religion. And in the religious practices there are no questions asked. You should observe Ekadashi. Why? Because we tell you. No questions asked. So do's and don'ts are necessary to discipline ourselves. An undisciplined person cannot achieve anything in life. It is something like, you should drive your car on the right side of the road. But I am from India, why should I drive? I will drive from left side. No. There is no logic, there is no reason. You have to follow, you have to follow. That is the religious practice by which we become disciplined. And not only that, we do not remain as a problem for others and also a problem for ourselves. When one has lived this religious life, he becomes disciplined, then he graduates. Then he comes in the class of philosophy. In philosophy, we are no more interested only living at a gross level, but we start inquiring, not arguing. See, inquiry is discovery of the truth. Normally we complain, we ask. See, one example I will give you. We all have seen, when a child is born, he or she is not able to walk on his own. Has any child ever asked his mother that, Mummy, when you were a child, how did you start walking? Can you tell me? Never. He discovers his own techniques. Falls down, holds onto the wall, holds onto the curtain, to the sari of the mom. Something or the other, and he discovers and starts. Spiritual practice begins when we start discovering within ourselves. See, friends. Then what is spiritual practice? Come to discover your essential nature. We normally complain. And the complaint is about others. Why people are like that? You manage your life, don't worry about the people. Like many people have this problem about eating vegetarian, non-vegetarian. This happened in one Bengali house in Assam. I went to their house for taking food. Bengali means what? They have to have fish, chicken. They can't go without it. So when I went to their house, they gave me vegetarian food. I was sitting on the dining table and the mother was so sweet. Bengalis are very sweet people. So I was taking food, her son came, very rowdy, strong, and in his plate, chicken, fish, he sat next to me. And the mother got so disturbed. How many times I told you, don't bring it here, Swamiji is vegetarian, why did you bring it here? And the tamasha was going to begin. I said, Mama, cool down. First of all, I am not asking him to be vegetarian. And he is not asking me to be non-vegetarian. So we both have no problem. Why you are worried? I said, worry will be when he will start eating my fingers instead of a gajar. Then I am worried. Focus attention on yourself. Spiritual life is focusing attention on yourself. In this relative world, there is no solution to any problem. राम ने लोगों की then you are not a spiritual seeker. See, friends, a spiritual seeker is the one who allows the divinity to express through him. And therefore, the teacher comes in the 17th mantra, 16th mantra, where he says, Shabdaksharam Param Brahma Tasmin Kshine Yadaksharam Tadvidvanaksharam Dhyayet Yadichet Shantimatmanaha. Shabdaksharam Param Brahma. First of all, see, you must have observed, I have not used the word concentrate. Don't get lost in concentration. Concentration is always creating a sense of otherness. Don't concentrate. Then one has to remain extremely aware about this Shabda, the Om. When we start our spiritual practice, we have to live more and more in awareness. And what is living in awareness? Where is our attention? See, be attentive. Electrical energy, bulb, filament, light, and object that is element in the light of the bulb. Now where is our attention? If our attention is on the object element in the light of the bulb, we are concentrating on something else. From here we go to the light. From the light we go to the filament. From the filament we go to electrical energy. He who has reached the electrical energy, he can never be disturbed by what is element. This journey from the objectivity to the subjective being is called a spiritual life. Therefore, first of all, Shabdaksharam Param Brahma. So first of all, we are told in Kathopanishad it is said, when Nachiket asked this question, Anyatra dharmat, anyatra adharmat, anyatra asmat kruta kruta, anyatra bhutacha bhavyacha, yattat pashyasi tadvada. O teacher, tell me that which is beyond the limitations of dharma and adharma, right and wrong. That which is beyond the limitation of cause and effect. And that which is beyond the influence of time. And that what is your immediate experience, reveal that experience to me. See, friends. So the student has done a lot of work. He is no more interested in dharma or dharma. If you do this thing, whether it is sin or merit, get lost whole life only in that. Or little bit of intellectual gymnastics, cause and effect. When Bhagavad Gita is so good, why there is so corruption in India? Cause and effect. There cannot be more dumb question than this. See? Then the third thing is, how long I have to do spiritual practice? So, influence of time. The teacher says, student says, not limited by this. What is your immediate experience? Tadvada. And there the teacher, Yamaraj, explains, Sarve Vedayat Padam Amananti Tapamsi Sarvani Yajjaranti Yadichanto Brahmacharyam Jaranti Tatte Padam Sangrahena Pravini Om Itte Tada. So that Om is the Shabda Brahma. Now the Om has many aspects. There are many types of Oms. And there are many spiritual practices. See? One is the gross mechanical influence of Om. See? When you chant Om with Ma being lengthened. In Om there are 3 syllables. A, U, Ma. A-U-M. So, A begins effortlessly from the throat. Therefore, in every language, first letter is A. A. Effortless sound is called as A. This sound gets modified. Modification of the sound is U. And the sound concludes in Ma. Like there are 25 these letters. Ka, ka, ga, ga starts from the throat. Cha, cha, ja, ja, ta, ta, da, da, na, ta, ta, da, da, na, pa, pa, ba, ba, ma. These 5 of them, pa, pa, ba, ba, ma, they cannot be chanted without the involvement of lips. If the lips are separated, now try to say pa, pa, you cannot. Similarly, the dantya, ta, tha, da, dha, na. So those who do not have teeth in their mouth, how they say, tha, 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 tha. There are no teeth. So we begin from a modify U and the conclusion is in Ma. In the same manner. Now this Om, this is gross aspect I told you. When we chant Om, these sound vibrations will cool down all your physical agitations, pains and mental agitations. It is said, Dhirgham pranamam uchcharya manorajyam viliyate. We suffer more because of manorajya. Manorajya is habitual thinking. It is not required. Yet we keep on blabbering with ourselves. So that is taken care of by the gross chanting properly. Then the second thing, like we have diagrams. Diagram of, let's take the human body. Now in that diagram everything cannot be written. So we apply the JavaScript and immediately the pop comes out. You take the cursor there, pop comes out. Head. You take the cursor to the belly, immediately another pop comes out. Stomach. You take the cursor to the feet, comes out. Leg. So one is the form and second is the labels to those forms. Exactly the same way. We go through 3 experiences. Waking, dream and deep sleep. The waking experience is labelled as A. The dream experience is labelled as U. And the deep sleep experience is labelled as Ma. So what is our total life? We may write autobiography of a Dumbo. But what do we write in our autobiography? Only what has happened in the waking experience. But we do go through the dream and the deep sleep. What about that? So our autobiography is based on 1/3 data. And any conclusion based on incomplete data cannot be valid. See friends, therefore this A-U-Ma indicates our total life. Therefore, if we have to think about Shabda Om, don't think about only the waking life. And in the waking life also, we don't think about our total life from the womb to the tomb. We think about one cul sac, one small little event, and somebody said something good and bad to us, and we make it an issue for the whole life. There are many more things. See, we become miserable as mother, father, brother, sister, husband, wife, etc., etc. But are we that alone? We are much more than that. See, friends. Therefore, the meaning of this Om is, don't limit your thinking between the womb and the tomb. You are much more than that. You are beyond that. See, friends. Shabda Brahmani Nishnadaha. This is the meaning of reflection on Om. And this cannot be done by anybody for us. There is no proxy on the spiritual path. We have to live our life, we have to die our death, and we have to practice our spiritual life. Nobody can do it for us. See, friends. Therefore, Shabdaksharam Param Brahma, and when this Shabda, the Om, Kshine, when it becomes quiet, the Shabda is sound. Om. The sound became dissolved. So before the sound was chanted, we were there. When the sound was chanted, we were there. When the sound dissolved, we are there. So, anything finite comes, stays and goes. Infinite never comes and never goes. And in that infinite, the teacher says here, Tasmin Kshire Yad Aksharam, Tad Aksharam Vidwan Dhyayeta. The seeker should now reflect on this silence that is followed by the sound and ultimately go beyond sound and the silence. These are the three stages. So first we chant Om, Om, Om. This is the mantra sadhana. Ram, 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 Ram. The mind is kept alive. The mind is not allowed to die. The purpose of chanting the mantra is disciplining the mind. No dissimilar thought should intercept. When I am chanting Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, no dissimilar thought should intercept in between. Then we have acquired little control over our mind. After this is done, now focus attention on the silence which is separating the two sounds. Sri Ram, Sri Ram. Then by God's grace and due time, we come to realize sounds are many, sounds are created, sounds die. But the silence is one, never created, never dies. When we thus start becoming more and more aware about the silence, then one more problem comes. Such people do not like a little bit of disturbance. So, when you enter some of the places, there they write, keep silence, as if you are entering a condolence meeting. So first, focus on sounds, then transcend the impact of sound, and then don't be lost only in the silence. Then come to discover whether there is sound, there is no addition and agitation. When there is silence, there is no loss or quietness. Tad aksharam dhyayet. This indestructible principle. Sound disappears in silence. Silence is destroyed by the sound. But there is one principle, akshara, which cannot be destroyed. Whether there is silence or sound. That tad aksharam dhyayet yadi chet shantim atmanaha. If you really want to discover yourself, be aware of your own being. Therefore, this technique which I told is very simple. Try. Don't argue. We don't have to worry about the world. The world has always been like this. There is nothing new in this world. In Satya Yuga, there used to be Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, terrible monsters. Then in the Treta Yuga, Ravan, Kumbhakarna, terrible Rakshasas. Then in the Dwapar Yuga, There used to be Duryodhana, Dhritarashtra, Dushasan, all terrible people. In Kali Yuga, we are all there. What is new? This world has always been like this. See? Therefore, this question don't entertain. Many people ask us this question. I have simple answer, I don't know. See? Like, Swamiji, what is your opinion about corruption? So I tell them, if I get opportunity, I will also eat. See, friends. Or, what is your opinion about terrorism? See, friends, don't get lost. This world has always been like this. And the question is, who cares for your opinion? What your opinion you have, keep with yourself. See, this principle I learned from one Chinese girl. I was in China and one girl was conducting me because of language barrier. And after 2-3 days she became very friendly, very close. So I asked her, I said, Mama, I'll ask you one question. If you don't mind, it is not a political thing, but for my general knowledge. No, Swamiji, you can ask me now. I know you are not you are a different type. It's all right. My question is, you are not allowed to talk about political things in your country. How do you feel? She gave such a cute laugh and said, Swamiji, you talk in your country about politics and suffer. We don't talk in our country about politics and suffer. Suffering is common. See? In any country you go, the people are good, the government is terrible. It is a common denominator. When it was not. See, friends, we are here only for spiritual evolution. Don't get lost in this world. Then alone, yadi chet shanti marpanaha. Why we are unable to recognize the importance of this is because we have not recognized the value of peace of mind. We all have recognized the value of money, is it not? And therefore, has any one of us ever said, earning money is difficult, therefore I am not going to earn? We find out ways and means, various ways. In the same manner, when we will recognize the value of peace of mind, then you will not ask questions, you will work for that. See, Yadi ichet shanti marpanaha. If you want to be at peace with yourself, a person who is at peace with himself, he alone is at peace with the whole world. A person who is at war with himself, he cannot be at peace with the world. See? Therefore, this technique having told, now the teacher says further, the next mantra, Dve vidde veditavvetu Shabda Brahma Paranchayata Brahma Shabda Brahmane Nishnataha Param Brahma Adigacchati. Dve vidde veditavve. In Mundaka Upanishad, the Upanishad begins with a question from the student. Kasminno bhagavo vidyate sarvamidam vijnatam bhavatiti. Oh teacher, what is that one having known which everything becomes known? And the teacher says, Dve vidde veditavve parachaiva paracha tatra apara Rugveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvaveda, Shiksha, Kalpa, Vyakaranam, Niruttam, Chandam, Jyotishamiti. The 4 Vedas and the 6 limbs of the Vedas, Shadanga, they fall in the relative realm. They do not fall in the absolute one. The foundation is relativity. And relativity is not real. See, it is only a conditioned expression of the absolute is called as relativity. Sun rises in the east. Which is the east? Where the sun rises. So because of the sun it is the east, or because it is east, sun is rising there. And after the East is created, then North, West, South, everything is created. Everything relative. And then we come under influence of this East, West, North, South and get further influenced by Feng Shui. And then go on fixing things here and there. Take care of your mind, friends. Instead of focusing attention on the self, we get lost in the not-self. Therefore, what is the Paravidya? Parayaya tat aksharam adhigamyate. Paravidya is that by which you are adhigamya means come to recognize. That by which you are able to recognize your own identity as to who you are. See, friends, the whole Bhagavad Gita stands on the foundation of this one question. And the question is identity crisis. As to who am I at a given period of time. Arjuna was confused on this issue. On the battlefield, whether he is a warrior or he is a grandson or he is a disciple. And what Bhagavan Krishna did, all that was said to him, none of them he practiced. Only he corrected his identity. Friends, correction of our identity and playing all the roles that we have to play perfectly well is living spiritual life 24/7. But we get caught up in one or the other. And therefore, Dvevidye Vedita Vetu Shabda Brahma Param Chayat. So one knowledge is pertaining to the relative existence and secondly the absolute existence. Now how do we do this? Very simple things, friends. Spiritual life is simpler than the simplest. In the relative world, first thumb rule, in the relative world, there is no absolute solution to any problem. You will have a relative problem or relative solution. Like you have got a pain, you go to the doctor and the doctor gives you painkiller. Painkiller means what? It is not a curative medicine, but it kills you without pain. It is a painkiller. It doesn't kill the pain. The person is killed because the etiological factor is not taken into account. It still remains, hangs over there. In the relative world, there is no solution to any problem. See, friends. Then what can be done? Transcend relativity. And to transcend the relativity, come to recognize relativity is superimposed on the absolute. See, in the infinite, finite is imagined. Space is infinite. Directions are imagined on the infinite space. And how they are imagined? Bringing the relationship between the sun and the earth. On the space, these directions are imagined. See, friend. So also the time. We talk about time. What is time? It is like a cosmic clock. For a clock there are minimum 2 hands. Hour hand and a minute hand. So the movement of the earth around the sun is 1 hand and movement of the earth around its own axis is another hand. So when the earth moves around the sun, 365 days are born. See? It is something like one boy and girl, they get married and husband is born. Where is husband? Can you show husband apart from man? Is he on him like a cap on the head? It is only because of the conditioning imagined, not the reality. Therefore, when the wife goes away, husband doesn't die because he was never there. Think, friends. Therefore, Shabda Brahmani Nishnataha. Live in this relative world in such a manner that this relativity should not become a burden for us. How can we do that? Go to Bengaluru and learn Karnataka. In a drama, there are 2 parties. One is on the stage, actors. Second is in the audience, 2 parties. Never be the audience, be the actor. Because actor acts, he gets money, name, fame. The audience reacts and loses money. Think. So I come on the stage as an actor and present a terribly miserable character, and all the sympathy in the audience is invoked, and I am crying with the glycerin tears. And when that is happening, the audience takes out their tissue paper and starts closing and wiping their nose. You know, in the digital era, people have stopped crying with the eyes. They cry with the nose. Because they are too much poking everywhere. And when the audience is reacting, crying, that time what goes on in the mind of the actor? Are Dambo, you are paying and crying. I am paid and it is a fake cry, I am not crying. See friends, in the same manner, lead your every life as if you are on a drama. And how many roles we have to play? Okay. If you are in your office, let us say, a military commander, roar like a lion. Oh. But when you come home, don't forget. There you should start, meow, meow. You will be successful. See, friends, one person told his friend, hey man, in the office you are a tiger. But when you come home, what happens to you? He said, no, in home also I am tiger, but only Sherawali rides on me. And I continue to be the tiger. Friends, play. And once you take this principle of playing different roles, be attentive, you will start playing meditation. Then you will not do meditation. When you do, I is born. And whenever something is done, you will be tired. See? And such people, they give frustrated, I am too tired, I want to take retirement. And after retirement, what will you do? Eat the head of that lady at home. खाने को क्या है? मेरा सर खा. 24 hours eating. Because when you are not busy with anything, you only can think about eating. Hey friends. Therefore, when you lead your life with this understanding, that I has to be deleted. The real liberation is not for the I, but the real liberation is from I. And this is what we all do every day. When we go to sleep, what exactly happens is I is deleted. Till such time I is there, you cannot sleep. And when the I disappears, even in the satsanga, we get the jhatkas. See friends. Therefore, Shabda Brahmane Nishnataha Param Brahma Adhigacchati. Then he comes to recognize that what is the meaning of Paramatma. And it is a subjective experience. One person asked me this question. Swamiji, how will I know whether I am realized or not? I said, I will ask you a question. I am taking food. Kindly tell me whether my hunger is satiated or not. Can anybody else tell about my hunger being satiated or not? It is a subjective experience. But even then, if you want to know, I will tell you one simple reply. Try. That about which you have no question, that you are. And what is that about which we have no question? Only our presence. Whether I am or I am not, this question cannot come. Because we cannot experience our absence. This is what you are. At this moment, you are neither man nor woman, neither young nor old, neither Indian nor American, neither rich nor poor. You are. And there is no option, non-optional presence. And this presence also cannot be even called as presence. Because the moment we talk about presence, absence is born. Think. Maunam vyakya prakatita para brahma tattvam yuvanam varshishtanti vasadrishiganaihi avrutam brahmanishtahi acharendram karakalita chinmudramananda rupam swatmaramam muditavadanam dakshinamurti mide. The truth is revealed in the eloquence of silence. Shabda Brahmani Nishnataha Param Brahma Adhikachati. He who has lived his relative life so beautifully and perfectly well that there are no regrets, there is no guilt, there is no arrogance precipitated on the mind and the scars of our own lifestyle. Such a person alone can dissolve his I. Shabda Brahmane Nishnataha. Therefore, unless our life in general is not quality life, we can never think of something higher. And what is a quality life? A very simple thing. Imagine you come home, and when you come home, your wife is dressed exactly the way you like her to dress. And then she opens the door with a smile. And then she takes the briefcase from your hand. And she makes you sit on a sofa and removes your shoes and socks. And in a container, warm water with fragrance, she dips a soft microfiber cloth and wipes your feet slowly and singing something. Imagine, man, it doesn't cost you. This imagination itself made you so happy, is it? If we go anywhere in the world, everybody wants us. What will be the joy? But our lifestyle is such that the moment we go somewhere, people run away. Arey bhago, Vedanti aa raha hai. See, friends, that is not spiritual life. Spiritual life is like a magnetic personality. Magnet attracts the iron files without efforts. See, friends. Therefore, Shabda Brahmani Nishnataha, he who has lived his life better, he alone is qualified for the spiritual path. See? Nayam Atma Balahine Labhya. Let us not have this misgiving. Those who are unfit for everywhere, they are fit for spirituality. See? This is how there is normal understanding. In Allahabad it happened. I was in somebody's house, one Agrawal family. And when we were all sitting together for taking dinner, their one son, huge structure. 6 plus and 4 plus, huge. And standing like Vivekananda. So I said, Mahatmaji, come on, join for food. You take. I said, all right, I come for taking food. So his mother felt very bad. Swamiji, he is such a useless one. He doesn't study. He keeps on eating. He troubles me, my husband, and we are all fed up of it. He's good for nothing. Why don't you take him with you to your ashram? It is for this purpose I don't have ashram. If you are a spiritual seeker, don't go to any ashram. Ashram is a place like, if you want to have peace, will you go to asylum? Another name of asylum is ashram. And then we have this funny notion that he who is unfit for everything, he is fit for Babaji. Then I told that Amma, I said, Mama, my mother also sent me like that. You go. Shapada Brahmane Nishnataha. A person who is utter failure in the life, he cannot progress on the spiritual path. Let us not have that funny notion. Continuing further in the 18th mantra, Grantham Abhyasya Medhavi Jnana Vijnana Tatparaha Balalamiva Dhanyarthi Tyajit Grantham Asheshataha. You know how the paddy is harvested? First there is a lot of, plantation made, sowing is done, and then they wait for the crop to mature, then it becomes dry, then it is cut, harvested, then they separate the husk from the grain, and then grains are kept, husk is discarded. This is in short how the rice is harvested or taken out of the plant. Exactly the same way. The teacher says, Grantham Abhyasya Medhavi. All the scriptures are like the paddy plant. Thereafter, Jnana Vijnana Tatparaha. Now whatever we are studying, Jnana, transferring the knowledge from the book to the brain by Bluetooth. After you transfer the knowledge to the brain, now another problem. And the problem is Medha. I know this, I know that, I have studied this, I have studied that. So first of all, I don't know that Abhiman, that ego, I am ignorant. Then we study. Then I study, I know Bhagavad Gita, yes, Upanishad I know. You see, the many times, these parties in India, I don't know here, when they come together, they will be talking, and one person fires one shloka. Gita says, Karmanyeva Adhikar Asti. Oh, you know Gita? Yes, पढ़ लेते हैं गीता उपनिषद. Oh, उपनिषद से क्या होता है? And then अंधों में काना राजा, and then he starts thinking he is wise among the fools. That is not spiritual life. So, from the book to the brain, when the knowledge goes, one becomes very much under the burden of this knowledge. Jnanam. Then Vijnana. Now, digest that knowledge. To digest that knowledge is reflection. Don't ask question to anybody about your spiritual life. You must have come across many places, question and answer sessions. You will see that in none of my retreats or camps or anybody, I entertain any question answers. You find out your answer. When you ask a question to others, you get a reply. Reply is not an answer. A student was asked in a school examination, what is the capital of America? The student replied, come on sir, you know it very well. Will he get marks? Because it was not an answer, it was a reply. Reply is not an answer. Answer we have to discover, find out. See friends, and when you start working on your own problem, on question, then alone answer will manifest from within. See? Therefore, Grantham Abhyasya Medhavi Jnana Vijnana Tatparaha, having studied, now start working on it. When the scriptures tell us that you are Parabrahma Paramatma, how it is possible? Don't think in the wrong way. How it is not possible? See, this is how we go the wrong way. When we are told, take care of the mind, don't think too much, oh, it is very difficult. It is difficult, but it is not impossible. We want everything with a click of a mouse, realization. It will not happen. Work hard. See, what we learn from the study of scriptures, for example, I will give you. In Bhagavad Mahapuran, many stories come. One story is, there was a great king, Rishabhdevji Maharaj. He ruled the world for 10,000 years, and after that, he handed over his kingdom to his eldest son Bharata, after whom India is named as Bharata, and then he went to forest and did tapasya and merged in the Lord. This is the story. Now, what is the moral of the story? Moral of the story we don't understand. I'll tell you one moral of the story. You know, in Mahabharata, there is a story of Savitri and Satyavan. You all must be knowing. Savitri was a great devoted wife to her husband. His name was Satyavan. When he died, she fought with the Lord Death and won over. And she got her husband back from the mouth or the hands of death. Story. Moral of the story. You can be saved from the death, but not from the hands of wife. Moral of the story. Similarly, what is the moral of this story? When he ruled for 10,000 years, handed over everything, went to the forest, what is the moral of the story? You may have everything in this world for not 4 years, 8 years, 10 years, but you may have for 10,000 years, yet you cannot discover fulfillment in your life from the material objective lifestyle. This is the moral of the story. In the same manner, here when we study the scriptures, get the message across. Don't get lost into how it is possible when the two armies were standing, Bhagavan Krishna was telling Bhagavad Gita. How it is possible? When something is happening in China, how can we see here? If you tell about these television things, maybe 100 years back, will anybody believe? See, friends. Therefore, instead of getting lost into these academics of the worldly scriptures, don't waste your time in that. Instead of get the message across. So, Jnana Vijnana Tatparaha. So, the knowledge has to be converted into conviction, and conviction alone we live. Today, we are all convinced that we are body. Even if God comes and tells us that you are not body, body you have not created, body doesn't listen to you, body is not your property, therefore you cannot be body. We will say intellectually we have understood, but we are body. See, friends. So as we are today convinced that I am body, in the same manner, when we are convinced that I am the embodied, not the body, with this conviction when you start living, the fear of death will disappear from you. See, friends. And when the fear of death disappears, then you can contemplate. For us, all spiritual life is after death, Swamiji, what happens? People will be happy. Chalo, gaya. What happens? No. Exactly what happens? That depends. If you are Hindu, we will burn you. If you are Christian, we will bury you. No, not like that. See? Jnana Vijnana Tatparaha, find out. And then Palaramima Dhanyarthi Tyajet Gratham Ashishata. Then throw away the books. It is only Upanishad and Vedas can talk this language. Don't hold on to the book. Book is not the truth. Upanishad Shabdena Brahma Vidya Uchate. And that Brahma Vidya Tvamevas. By the word Upanishad, we are not talking about book. It is just a paper. Whether you write here Upanishad or you write a cinema story, it makes no difference to the paper or to us. Friends, that knowledge must become our experience. Spiritual life is converting the information through interaction into conviction. Start living that conviction and come to experience the truth. That is spiritual life. Palalimo dhanyarthi tyajet grantham asheshata. Now the teacher takes next theme. Gavan gavamaneka varnanam Kshirasyapyeka varnatam Kshiravat pashyate jnanam Linginastu gavam yatha. In the Gita Dhyana Shloka, there is one shloka. Sarvopanishado gavo Dogdha Gopalanandanaha Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham Gita Mrutam Mahat. This shloka I happened to chant in Delhi, where Punjabis are maximum. And you know Punjabis, they break the word into pieces. Station, they will say satation. So, when I said this verse, one Punjabi lady, she came and asked me, Swamiji, tusi dasya, Dogdha Gopala Nandanaha, Do Gadha Gopala Nandanaha. Hey, Do Gadha kaun si? Who are these two Gadhas? I said, ek to main hu. And the other one is you. Dogdha and Dogada. This world is full of joy. There is no misery anywhere. So the Upanishads are compared with the cows. So there are many cows, but the milk is the same white, in the same manner. There may be many Upanishads, but all the Upanishads indicate the same reality. It is not Rigvedi Brahman is superior and Yajurvedi Brahman is inferior. No. What is said in the Rigveda as Prajnanam Brahma, what is said as Ayam Atma Brahma, what is said as Aham Brahmasmi, what is said as Tattvamasi, the meaning of all the four Mahavakyas from all the four Vedas indicate the same reality, that like the milk from whatever cow it may be, it is going to be white and white alone. Therefore, don't get lost into these controversies. See, academics should be limited to getting degree. If you want to get a degree and earn on the basis of that degree, then you do go to Gugalananda Maharaj. And there copy paste and submit your thesis. And your teacher will also do the same thing. He will go and find out references, not because he also is the same type, digital professor. So he will also go to Google. Same word to word. See, scriptures are not meant for earning bread. Work on it and come to discover your divine self. That is the purpose. Now the teacher continues further. Grutaviva payasi nigudham Bhute vasati vijnanam Satatam manthaitavyam manasa manthana bhutena. If we are told that there is ghee, means purified butter, there is ghee in the milk, we will doubt how can there be ghee? We don't see anywhere. Then to see that ghee or the purified butter in the milk, what we have to do? We have to go through a process. First of all, don't buy 0% fat milk. Take proper milk from a buffalo. 8%, 10%. And then heat it on slow fire, not very strong fire. And when it is boiled, then allow it to again cool down slowly. And then take the starter and mix that starter in that milk, not very vigorously but slowly. Then cover it with a cloth and see that it is not disturbed at all. Don't go and see after 2 minutes, dahi ban gaya. Like when we prepare tea, we do that. We put water on the gas and after 2 seconds, boil ho gaya, abhi to rakha hai. Have patience. So we keep that milk properly covered and proper starter indicator added to it, and thereafter, next day, then it is a solid, beautiful yogurt or dahi. And then take the churning rod and start churning. Don't take that kind of stuff. Churning rod. And when you do churning, then the butter will float. When it floats, you take it with your hand, not with a spoon. Take with your hand and put it on another pot like this. And do it till no more butter comes. And then what is remaining to hand? Don't waste it. And then put that butter on, again, very soft fire, not very hard fire. And let it slowly cook. All the impurities will be burnt away. And grainy, pure ghee is grain. It is not like, when you make the butter out of the cream, it is a lower quality butter. But when you make through this, there are grains in that ghee. And when that butter is made, then you cannot mix that butter back into the milk. In the same manner, study the scriptures, reflect, do the churning of the knowledge, and whatever the surface wisdom comes up, collect it. After it's collected, then go and seat yourself on a stove of meditation seat. And in that meditation seat, in the white heat of meditation, slowly that butter will start melting and you will disappear. And once you come to discover your essential nature, there is no possibility of further form. In Yoga Shastra, the word comes, Shuchinam Srimadam Gehi Yoga Bhrashto Vijayate. There is no Bhakti Bhrashta, there is no Jnana Bhrashta. We have to know ourselves only once in a lifetime. Like we learn swimming only once in a lifetime. We don't learn every day. And once you learn, you can never forget. Because you don't learn with the mind. Same is the case, you are riding a bicycle. You may not ride thereafter for 20, 30 years, yet you will not fall. Because this experience is not limited by any of the faculties such as the sense organs, mind, intellect, etc. In the same manner, only sthitva syam antakalepi brahma nirvana mricchati. Even at the last moment, if it clicks, it's done. Yad gatva nanivartate taddhama paramam. Hey friends, it is not posthumous attainment. after death you will go to heaven or hell. That is for babies, In one place, one person asked me this question. And then I said, okay, I don't believe, I believe. How does it matter? If you say like that, you will go to hell. Then I asked him, where will you go? He said, I am going to go to heaven. I said, if you go to heaven, I am not going to come there. I am preferring the hell. This frightening is not spiritual life. Religion will control the masses by two remote controls. One remote control is introducing the virus of guilt. A guilty person can never be happy. Second is introducing another virus of fear. With guilt and fear alone, the masses can be controlled from distance. See? Bhagavad Gita says the first step on spiritual path is Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhi. Unless we are fearless, we cannot walk the spiritual path. See, friends. Therefore, Satatam Manthaitavyam Manasa Mantena Bhutena. And this practice has to be 24/7. Now what is the meaning of 24/7? I'll just give an example. We were having a nice cup of tea in the evening in our Madhav's house, sitting in the outhouse, and there were some curtains and winds were blowing and the beautiful patterns coming. So I took some pictures also. I said, look here, these patterns look so beautiful, but they are not. So where from they begin and where do they go? Exactly the same way. Where from I have come? Who am I? Was I non-existent before the body was born? When the body dies, do I continue to be or do I disappear? Every experience of our life is meditation. Every experience. And we can do that. It is not impossible. See, friends. Therefore, Satatam Manthaitavyam. A person who is busy, engaged in this contemplation, he can never have any other thought about the world. This subtle principle is indicated by Tulsidas Ji Maharaj in his Ramcharitmanas towards the end, where he says, Kami hi nari piyari jimi lobihi priya jimidam timi raghunath nirantara priya lagahu buhiram. For a greedy person, every experience is in terms of exchange of money. They are called as price tag personality. Everything they will talk in terms of price tag. Can you tell me how much this watch cost? One person asked me. I said, maybe 10 cents? No, Swami. It looks so cheap, All the time, money. Such person, anywhere they will go, they will talk only about money. Because that is the only purpose. And a greedy person, he is not greedy only during office hours. Hey, give me bribe only during office hours, after all, no, any time, in the same manner, spiritual practice is 24/7. It is recognizing the divine message in and through every experience of life. Satatam Manthaitavyam Manasa Mantena Manthana Bhutena. By this, when we thus practice 21st mantra, Jnana Netram Samadaya Uddharet Vadnivat Param Nishkalam Nishchalam Shantam Tad Brahmahamiti Smrutam. Now Jnana Netram Samadaya. Thus we attain intuitive wisdom. See, friends, intuitive understanding is beyond the scope of cause and effect. One example I will give you. all the great rishis, they have established the movement of the planets, which planet is moving with what speed and in which direction. They did this and they declared by sitting in their own small hut, thatch hut. Where from they got this knowledge? This knowledge is beyond the limitation of cause and effect. That is called as the Jnana Netra. Wise people do not work on the scale of logic. And those who work on the scale of logic, they are intellectuals. And who are intellectuals? Those who are intelligently miserable. And intelligent people are never miserable in this world. Jnana Netram Samadhaya, thus having attained this intuitive understanding, Uddharet Vannivat Param, then like the fire never goes down. You try to lit some tar or some wood and try to put the fire down, fire will always go up. In the same manner, with this intuitive understanding, the seeker thereafter never falls. He will be growing and growing. We even fall in love. Love is an area where we should rise. But we begin our life by falling in love and get hurt throughout life. Hey friends, Uddharet, rise in this wisdom and knowledge. And what is that Uddhara? What is that ultimate attainment? Nishkalam, Nishchalam, Shantam, Tad Brahma Ahamiti Smrutam. Come to discover that Nishkalam, the homogeneous, undivided experience is our essential nature. We get divided into knower, known and knowledge. We get divided into experienced, experiencer and experiencer. See? The truth is homogeneous. It is not divided. Therefore, Nishkalam, Kala is facets. Like we call the first day of the moon, second day of the moon, third day. So there are not 16 moons. The one moon alone is appearing because of the conditioning of the earth and the sun. So Nishkalam, that immaculate, undivided, homogeneous being is our essential nature. Our fear is like a drop wanted to jump into the sea, but was afraid. If I jump, what will happen to me? You will not remain. But you will not disappear. You will merge with the ocean. See, friends. Therefore, this individuality, I, has to be dissolved. And when the I is dissolved, thereafter play the game of life. Then there is neither joy nor sorrows. Whatever comes is perfectly well. Nishkalam, Nishchalam. Then one will be firmly abiding in this experience. Shantam. See, Shanti is what? Be attentive. Desire is agitation. I want this, I want this, I want this. Absence of desire is Shanti. Anger is agitation. Absence of anger is Shanti. Greed is agitation. Absence of greed is Shanti. But Shanti is not of the nature of absence. Like the darkness is absence of light. Therefore, you cannot catch darkness. You cannot measure darkness. You cannot do anything with the darkness. Because it is absence. In the same manner, when we talk about Shanti as absence of the desire, absence of anger, etc., that doesn't mean Shanti is of the nature of absence. That Shanti thou art. You are that. Nishkalam, Nishchalam, Shantam, Tad Brahmaham iti smrutam. That which remains undisturbed under all conditions, that is our essential nature. Like the water remains undisturbed under all conditions. The water is never afraid of getting drowned in the ocean, nor getting broken into pieces when a wave breaks. In the same manner, such a great master lives through the relative world, in and through all the limitations, and yet none of the limitations ever influence his poise. That abundance in the self is the ultimate, that is to be recognized as the result of if we can mind our mind perfectly well. Concluding mantra, Sarva Bhutadi Vasam Yata Bhuteshu Cha Vasatyapi Sarvanugraha Katvena Tadasmiham Vasudevaha Tadasmiham Vasudeva iti. One of the names of Bhagavan Krishna is Vasudeva. Vasudeva means the son of Vasudeva. Vasudeva means that pure heart where divinity can manifest. If the mirror is dusty, unsteady, covered by a cloth, no reflection can properly happen. But if the mirror is steady, clean, without any covering, then reflection will be perfect. In the same manner, that heart where the poison of ego is totally absent, there the truth is revealed. That Vasudeva, the one who is manifesting in the pure hearts, that I am. That Vasudevaha Amasmiti. And who is the Vasudeva? Sarva Bhutadi Vasamyat. All the beings are in me and I am in all the beings. Ishavasya Upanishad says, Yasmin Sarvani Bhutani Atmannevanupashyati Sarva Bhutastam Atmanam Natato Vijugupsate. How do we come to know that one has established himself in the absolute reality? When the sense of otherness do not create differentiation on account of the differences, then we are abiding in the truth. Like, we know eyes are not the nose, nose is not the ear, ears are not the stomach, stomach is not the legs. The differences are perceived, but there is no differentiation on account of the differences which are perceived. In the same manner, the wise man lives in this differentiated world but doesn't differentiate. Somebody is mine and somebody is not mine. Because he has discovered the common denominator that is supporting this world. Sarva Anugraha Katvena. And therefore, such a great master is a blessing to all. Sarva Anugraha Katvena. There is nobody who is mine and nobody who is not mine. Be friends. Therefore, all the great masters, they don't have to struggle to love somebody. It is as easy as breathing by a healthy person. When a person is not healthy, suffering from grandmother-in-law, you know grandmother-in-law? Mother-in-law is called as SARS. Grandmother-in-law is called as asthma. So when somebody is suffering from asthma, how painful it is. And yet we have to breathe. But a person who is healthy, both the nostrils fully open, no blockade, how wonderful the life is. In the same manner, such great masters live in this world without the barrier of any criteria. And for them, they do not use the word love as a verb. But for them, love is a noun, and a noun we experience. That manifestation of the unconditioned pure love is God realization. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Yasya